Level 1, the complete disaster. This is the bottom of the barrel, the quarterback who keeps you awake at night. These players are often highly recruited, highly touted freshmen or transfers who, for reasons we may never fully understand, lose all sense of football logic the moment they step into an SEC game. Their accuracy is non-existent, often leading to more interception highlight reels than touchdown drives. Their decision-making is absolutely terrible. Take a guy like Jeremy Johnson at Auburn in 2015. He came in with massive hype after a solid backup season, but his run as a starter was catastrophic. Every single week was just a new meme waiting to happen. Auburn fans had effectively given up on the season by October, and honestly, who could blame them? The hope they had was violently extinguished by missed throws and bad reads. Don't even get me started on John Parker Wilson at Alabama before Nick Saban figured things out. This dude was supposed to be the answer to the program's wilderness years, and he'd show up to big games looking completely lost. He couldn't read a blitz. He had zero pocket presence. He would rather check down for 2 yards than actually try to make a play downfield. Or consider the ultimate cautionary tale of expectation, John Brantley at Florida. Brantley was a 5-star kid who made the egregious mistake of trying to follow the most famous college player of all time, Tim Tebow. The pressure was a black hole. He wasn't just a bad quarterback. He was a symbol of the entire program's sudden, devastating drop back to earth, guiding the Gators through 2 unremarkable years that felt like decades to the fan base. You only watch Level 1 quarterback play for one of 2 reasons. You watch it as comedy, or you watch it because you're unfortunately a fan of that team and are forced to witness the ongoing carnage. Level 2, the serviceable backup. Unlike Level 1, you can actually win some games with these guys. They won't wow you, but they won't actively commit treason against the scoreboard either. Now and then, if the stars align perfectly and the defense plays out of its mind, you might even get the occasional decent performance. Level 2 includes career backups who know their role, or transfers brought in solely to bridge the gap between 2 higher-tier quarterbacks. Think about guys like Jarrett Guarantano at Tennessee, who started for what felt like a decade, maintaining stability but never truly elevating the program beyond mediocrity. He understood the system, he was tough, but he was missing that extra gear that separates good from great. Or the ultimate graduate transfer, Grayson Lambert, who arrived at Georgia and was just competent enough to steer the ship for a year. His job wasn't to throw 40 touchdowns. It was to not throw 5 interceptions. He was the reliable bus driver, not the fighter pilot. Is there really a better job than being a backup quarterback in the SEC, though? This might be one of the best gigs in college sports. These guys are getting full scholarships, they're living the college experience, and only having to worry about an occasional fourth-quarter snap in a 35-point blowout against some poor FCS directional school. You can put them into situations and not immediately lose the game. But let's be real here. You're not winning an SEC championship with Level 2 quarterbacks starting, because the moment they face a true top-tier defense, the offense stalls. Level 3, the solid starter. These are the guys who make an honest living in the SEC. They are the definition of competency. Not great, not terrible. They're just fine. They're starters who can manage games without completely falling apart, giving the fan base hope for something bigger for part of the season. Level 3 quarterbacks are perfectly suited for getting you to around 8 or 9 wins and fighting for a decent bowl game. They have more than one read in their progression and some decent arm talent. This is where we place guys who put up big volume but struggle for signature wins, like Will Rogers at Mississippi State. A perfect air raid system quarterback who stacks stats, but whose style often struggled to translate against elite physical defenses. We also place the early years of Bo Nix at Auburn here. The talent was clearly there, but the consistency was an absolute roller coaster of stunning improvisation, followed by baffling mistakes. Then you have guys like Drew Lock at Missouri, who had all the physical tools and solid numbers, but never truly elevated Missouri to that next level. You might even get some solid stats from these guys. 2,800 yards, maybe 22 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. These are the guys who get your team to the Citrus Bowl, and honestly, everyone's fine with that. Except for the one guy on Twitter who calls himself the SEC Prophet, who insists they should be in the college football playoff. The NFL scouting report reads, good processing speed, serviceable arm, high floor, very low ceiling. They are the gatekeepers of SEC purgatory. Level 4, the really good quarterback. Here we start talking about highly respected quarterbacks in the SEC. What separates them from normal starters is these guys have the ability to get hot at the right time, make clutch throws in big moments, and actually lead their team to major bowl games and championships. They are the final piece of the championship puzzle. Mac Jones won a national championship and got Alabama there with incredible record-breaking efficiency. Another perfect example is A.J. McCarron. 2 national championships, one of the most decorated QBs in SEC history, but he was the ultimate game manager, flawlessly executing the plan around an all-time great defense. We also include Connor Shaw at South Carolina. He was an overachieving winner who maximized the talent around him, particularly under Steve Spurrier, to pull off huge upsets and deliver 3 consecutive 11-win seasons. Greg McElroy at Alabama is another archetype. A cerebral, coach-on-the-field quarterback who won a national title by not making mistakes and perfectly leveraging the talent around him. But here's the thing, and this is really crucial. They all needed help to carry the load. Mac Jones had the best supporting cast in the history of college football. He was the perfect driver for a Ferrari with a jet engine. Give this same Ferrari to a level 2 guy, and it's wrapped around a goalpost by halftime. The difference between level 4 and level 5 is that they're just not quite elite enough to carry a team on their own consistently. Their NFL fate is often a solid starter, but rarely a franchise cornerstone, because they don't possess the magical improvisational ability of the higher tiers. Level 5, the elite quarterback. This is greatness territory. Everyone from this level on can legitimately carry a program through sheer force of talent. Level 5 has elite arm talent, clutch genes, and can make throws that 90% of quarterbacks in the conference simply can't make. These players force opposing coordinators to abandon their original game plans. You've got guys who possessed undeniable first-round NFL talent, but just couldn't quite put it all together in the SEC due to surrounding circumstances. Jay Cutler at Vanderbilt. He had the arm, the physical tools, and the sheer grit. But he played on teams that were rarely competitive. Same with Blaine Gabbert at Missouri, who had prototypical NFL size and was a talent who flashed top-tier ability, but lacked championship-level support. We also include players like Anthony Richardson, Florida, who had all the physical tools in the world. That arm strength was ridiculous, but never quite put together a complete season. More recently, you've got someone like Bryce Young, who won the Heisman at Alabama and showed he could make every throw on the field. His accuracy and decision-making were just on another level. But despite his brilliance, he couldn't quite get Alabama back to a championship. Level 5 quarterbacks have their moments where they look absolutely unstoppable. They had the talent to be level 7, but the SEC is a cruel mistress. It will give you a Heisman and then send you home with 2 losses and a Citrus Bowl invite instead of a national championship trophy. Their NFL ceiling is high, but their college resume lacks the perfect, clean finish. Level 6, special, legendary quarterbacks. First ballot SEC Hall of Famers. The quarterbacking at this level demands your attention every single Saturday. These players have the combination of elite physical tools and the results to back it up, often including a national title or a Heisman. Take Cam Newton during his magical Auburn run. He was an unstoppable, singular force who carried Auburn to an undefeated season and a national title in 2010. It was just one magical transcendent season, which keeps him just shy of level 7. Then you have Johnny Manziel at Texas A&M, the most electric player we've ever seen in this conference. Johnny football was a glitch in the Matrix. He took the best defense in the country, Alabama, and made them look like a high school safety net. It's hard to imagine we'll see that level of chaos and brilliance again, but his peak was too short for the final tier. We also include players who were viewed as the prototypical NFL QB while in college, like Matthew Stafford at Georgia. He had the cannon arm and the ability to win games, and was the definitive top NFL pick, even if his Georgia teams didn't win the ultimate prize. Level 6 quarterbacks have that ability to transcend the game itself. There's still something holding them back from that final level, though, be it Manziel's lack of longevity or Stafford's lack of ultimate team success. These guys changed how we think about the position. They had moments that we'll never forget, but they're just one step away from true quarterback mastery in the SEC. Level 7, the Master. Master quarterbacks are extremely rare and come by maybe once in a generation. They operate on a completely different level than everyone else, showing total control, generational talent, and sustained dominance. Their success is a foregone conclusion. I think only 2 players have ever reached quarterback mastery in the SEC: Peyton Manning at Tennessee and Joe Burrow at LSU. Peyton Manning was a pre-snap master who could dissect any defense before the ball was even snapped. 4 years of dominance at Tennessee, breaking SEC passing records and turning the Volunteers into a consistent contender. He had the longevity, the statistics, and the football intelligence that was undeniable. He was the highest of high-floor quarterbacks. Joe Burrow in 2019 was absolutely unconscious. 60 touchdowns, 5,600 yards, completing 76% of his passes while leading LSU to a perfect season and a national championship. That season was the greatest individual quarterback performance in SEC history, maybe in all of college football history. He had the highest of high-peak seasons, combined with the Heisman and a national title. They checked every single box: individual awards, ultimate team success, clutch performances, and football IQ that was just off the charts. These aren't just quarterbacks. These are the monuments the rest of the conference builds their defenses to stop, and they usually fail. They are the benchmark. If you want to see how these SEC legends stack up against the best of the Big Ten, smash that like button and watch for a future video breaking down the rival conference. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our new videos each week.